What's going on, guys? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NFL DFS video. This is for week 2. We are back. Hopefully you had success last week. So if you did, drop down below. Let us know what you did. If you use any of our advice and you cash, if you want to tweet at us at advisors_team with a picture of your winnings, or if you want to email me, support at fantasyteamadvisors.com. I can tweet that out. Would absolutely love to see it. If you guys download our avatar, which you can find, you can just Google FTA, or I can send you the file, and you end up cashing, you're winning. If you're in the top 1,000, if it's a huge tournament and you're in the top 1,000, if you bring home bacon, we will give you a week pass or 5-day pass for the next NFL. You just have to show us proof. So definitely get us on Twitter and tweet at us, tweet with us, and let us know. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go over our article for week 2. You can find it on the website. It would help me immensely. So the very first link in the description of this video will be this article. If you click on that and just kind of look through it, it helps me see the views that you guys are still coming to see each and every week for the articles. And we'll move on. We'll give you guys what you want. So what I want to do is I'm going to try to go live tomorrow morning. So again, I said in the other video, but it is kind of hard to go live when I have a 7-month-old. But I'm going to try my best. We're going to see if it works. If it doesn't work out tomorrow, I'll figure out a different day to do it throughout the week. So in that article, or in that when we're live, just like we've done in the past, we'll go over everything again. So we'll go over this article. We'll go over the matchup tool, which we will look at. We'll go over the odds to see how they've changed. We'll build a lineup at the end as well. So if that's something you guys are interested in, definitely subscribe to this channel. Go follow all of our social media. Hit that bell notification so you guys know when we'll go live. I will try to go live at 9 a.m. Central. So 9 a.m. Central, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. We'll try to build that out for you. Start 'em, set 'em questions for season long. Main focus will be DFS, but we may go season long as well. So that being said, if you guys haven't already checked it out, you can go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You can click on FTA Plus right here at the top. It'll take you to this. So you can check this out. You can get a day pass for 5 days for $9.99, a month for $34.99, or a year pass for $3.99. Now, right now we have, last I looked, we had 5 coupon codes left. If you hit Join FTA Plus now and use promo code YEARPASS99, that's YEARPASS99, YEARPASS99, YEARPASS, all one word, all caps. You'll get $300 off. You will get it for $99 for a year. That's every single sport. So we already have the cheat sheet up for MMA. We are good to go. All I have to do, kind of wait a little bit longer with MMA because with all of COVID testing, there's 14 fights. There's bound to be 1 or 2 canceled due to testing. So kind of waiting a little bit on that. We've got that out. MLB is live. NFL, we have the cheat sheet out. The matchup tool is out. We'll be updating our lineups. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have... I'm going to go back to what we did last year. So for that, you have 3 cash lineups and 3 GPP lineups. So I'll build that out. We'll get that going. So if that's something you're interested in, you definitely can. So again, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com/plans. You can click on that. Use promo code YEARPASS99. That'll get you $300 off. 5 coupons left. I can't hold it for you. First come, first serve. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the over-unders first. Now, depending on when you watch this video, these could have changed by then. But you can kind of see, I like this with lineups.com. You can, it shows the different betting books that maybe you have. So it sucks in my state. I have to go sign up in person at a casino for DraftKings and Fanduel. and the casino's far away. So I only have William Hill right now, so it just really depends on what you're looking at. So we're just going to go down the list. Depending on when you watch this video, these could have changed. Most likely they will have changed. So get a paper pen, get ready. We've got a lot to go over. This might be a little bit longer video. If you find this at all helpful, please let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. Tag us at advisors_team. You can email me to let me know. Down below also works. But if you guys want to win a free week, all you have to do is tell me. Well, first you got to be a subscriber, like the video, thumbs it up. Down below, tell me what quarterback is going to throw for the most amount of yards and how many yards are they going to throw for. If you get that correct without going over, you'll win the next week of NFL content for free. All you have to do is type. So that is it. Let me know. Hopefully we'll help you bring home the bacon this week. So we had a big week in week 1. Look to continue on that as well. So the first game on the slate at noon is the Giants at the Bears. The Giants looked absolutely dismal on Monday Night Football. The Bears, at first, I was like, oh, great, our Mitch Trubisky pick's going to look like crap. Nope, he came through, absolutely dominated, came back for the win. They're starting, I bet if people saw this before week 1 started, the Giants would have been the favorite here. But the Bears are favorited pretty well right here, right now. Favorited to win by 5.5, and the over-under is currently 42. It's going to be tough to hit that 42. Just depends. If we see what we saw out of the Giants last week, it's going to be tough. I do think this probably does go over, though, so that is something you can look at there. And the good thing about like lineups.com, you can see the 4 different sports books. If you have enough bankroll, you can have money in each one of these and take the odds overall. So if you're looking at this, like obviously DraftKings 5.5, Fanduel is 5, the other ones are 5.5. So right now, if you're thinking about doing the spread, you could be profitable over the season if you look at this and you take the bet at 5. Overall, I think the stats are if you have multiple books and you find the one that has the better odds. Overall, if you bet the entire season, you're at about a 53% return on investment, so you're right above 50%. So that is, it's not huge, but if you do sports bet, that is profit overall. So that being said, definitely looking at the Bears there. Could be, I like Trubisky again. If you want to stack him with like Montgomery or Miller or Robinson, it just depends. Robinson was having a hissy fit the beginning of the week, and it appears to be done. The next game is the Falcons at the Cowboys. Only Matt Ryan could throw for 450 yards in week 1 and still lose the game. Cowboys, I mean, the offense didn't really look amazing against the Rams in week 1 on Monday night or Sunday night. It was Sunday Night Football. Falcons threw for a ton. I think this game over under a 53.5, which I believe is the highest. I think it could be a shootout. I think you want to get exposure to this game. So a rule of thumb when you are stacking, always have exposure to both sides of the ball. Now what I mean by that is if you're going to go with Dak and let's say Michael Gallup and Zeke, you want exposure on the other side. So I would definitely be looking at Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, because if the Falcons, in fact, are behind, or vice versa, if the Cowboys are behind, they're going to have to throw the ball, and you want exposure to the wide receivers and not or the tight ends, depending on what team you're on. But looking at that, I think this could be a shootout. I think with the Cowboys being a 250 favorite on DraftKings, a 225 favorite on FanDuel, I mean, 250, if you're taking this bet, you probably want to go with William Hill, just to, you won't be paying as much. But I think this could be a shootout. I think it does hit the over of 53.5. And there's a lot of fantasy points to be had in this game. And I think you're going to want some exposure to this game for sure. Next one is the Lions at the Packers. We absolutely saw Aaron Rodgers dominate last week. We had exposure to him. Anytime we have Aaron Rodgers, most likely we're going to have Devonta Adams, and he came through immensely last week. I'm going to have exposure to him again. Detroit Lions, they came out hot out against the Bears, and then they just gave up a ton of points. Aaron Rodgers is 10 times better than Trubisky, probably more than 10 times. Aaron Rodgers should be able to feast in this one. 210 favorite, love that. Get the better odds on DraftKings. The other ones are 300 or 280. So definitely looking at the Packers here. Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Devonta Adams, if you want to go Valdez-Scantling, or you want to go Lazard in like GPP to take the ownership down, I'm 100% for that as well. Next game is the Vikings at the Colts. I'm actually surprised the Colts are a favorite here. That is very surprising. If I'm sports betting, I kind of like the Vikings to take this one. As long as Kirk Cousins has to do better than week 1. That is definitely for sure. But I'm looking at this, and I don't know why the Colts right now are the favorites. And they're heavy favorites over there on Fanduel. So I am looking at the Vikings here. Take the points, take the money. But for DFS purposes, I'm looking at Thielen. It's really hard to want to take. I think Thielen might be a one-off in that game. Dalvin Cook as well, I don't mind. Bills at the Dolphins, I'm actually surprised DraftKings doesn't have that more. I mean, obviously 235, 250 here. Bills defense, absolutely love the Bills defense this week against, as of right now, I believe it's Fitzpatrick. He had 3 interceptions in week 1. I honestly feel if Fitzpatrick has 2 or more interceptions this week, he gets benched, and we go with Tua. So I am definitely looking at the Bills here. Defense-wise, I think they'll be highly owned. In cash, you're probably going to need them. Next one, the 49ers versus the Jets. Big favorites here. No surprise there. Definitely looking at the 49ers. I think they're mad they got manhandled against Arizona in week 1, and now they get the Jets that are terrible defense and offense. Everything combined is terrible. So looking at the 49ers here, looking at Jimmy G as a value play at quarterback. Mohamed Sanu just got signed, so if he is active, I love that. He should be super cheap. Just make sure the top of the banner for like FanDuel and DraftKings that Sanu will accrue points. Sometimes they don't. You would think they would, since I think he signed like Monday or Tuesday. So we should be good there. Next game at noon, the Rams at the Eagles. Eagles looked absolutely terrible in week 1 against the Washington football team. I don't know why the Eagles right now are favorited. I mean, they're not huge favorites. I do like the Rams in this one. I think Jared Goff makes a great option here. I would probably pair him up with Robert Woods, Malcolm Brown. Hopefully it's Malcolm Brown and Cam Akers doesn't switch off this week. So I'm looking at that. A Ram stack I don't mind against the Eagles, who did lose to the football team. Next game, Denver Broncos at Steelers. Steelers defense looked absolutely amazing in week 1. Looking at them again here. Think Big Ben is back. I am pairing Ben with Juju, and James Conner supposedly back, but I don't trust him enough. So he's just so injury prone. I don't know how you pay for James Conner. Next game, the Panthers at the Bucks. Now Tampa Bay is in turmoil. After week 1, did Tom Brady make a mistake? The headlines are stupid. Mainstream media pretty much overall for everything now is dumb. Panthers are, they're massive underdogs. If you want to go in that sense, Teddy Bridgewater, Robbie Anderson, CMC, he's going to cost you a lot. But McCaffrey's, he targets and runs. If I'm sports betting, obviously Tampa Bay, it'd be hard to take this one at minus 400. You could. Maybe Tampa Bay still struggles. Maybe you get some points there and Carolina wins. You get a hefty profit if Carolina wins. So that is something to look at if you are sports betting, but I will have exposure to both sides of the ball in this one. I don't know if I'll have exposure to Tom Brady, but Ronald Jones has the best matchup for running backs in week 2, according to fantasy points per game given up last year by defenses. Next game, the Jaguars the Titans. Titans, massive 450. Jaguars could surprise you, but I do love Tannehill. Derrick Henry touched the ball, I think, 31 times. Should be able to decimate. This Jaguars defense is not the same as a couple of years ago. Pretty much everyone big names that stopped people are gone. So love the Titans here. With A.J. Brown being out, I do like Humphreys for GPP and Davis for cash, along with Tannehill and Derrick Henry. Next game, Washington football team versus the Cardinals. I'm actually surprised Washington's the favorite here on DraftKings, whereas they're not anywhere else. That seems like it would be a mistake. But I do like the Cardinals here. DeAndre Hopkins, every single week, is almost a lock. Kyler Murray, both in the air and can run the ball. I like that. And, I mean, Arizona could be a surprise team this year. So I do like the Cardinals in this one. If you can, I would bet the Cardinals on DraftKings before they change this. It seems weird that seems weird. Next one, Baltimore Ravens at the Texans. Lamar Jackson, any given week, is going to be hugely popular. Texans defense gave up some points, and they're going to, Will Fuller is, depending on what you're looking at, David Johnson you could be looking at, but love Lamar Jackson here, love him there, and huge favorites, but not on DraftKings, so get those points while you can. That's what I'm saying. You can make a lot of money here if you're looking at points on DraftKings Sportsbook at 195, whereas the other ones are over 300. So take advantage of that, guys. That is where you're going to make your money if you sports bet. Chiefs at the Chargers. I don't trust the Chargers at all. I'm 100% going with the Chiefs. DFS, sports betting, everything. Seahawks at the Patriots. Seahawks, I think Russell Wilson feasts again. I know the Patriots had a great defense, but looking at how Atlanta, Matt Ryan got 450 yards in the air against this Seahawks defense. If Cam Newton throws the ball, I think he's a great option for GPPs. But last week, he barely threw the ball and ran 2 touchdowns in. So GPP-wise, Cam Newton, he doesn't really have any main targets to throw to that I would suggest other than Edelman. James White could be there, so that's something to look at. And then the final game on Monday night, the Saints at the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. They're opening up their brand new stadium, and it's probably the disappointment because Drew Brees should throw for more than 160 yards. Michael Thomas is out, but Emmanuel Sanders will move into that main wide receiver 1 role. So there we go, guys. Those are the odds as of right now. Filming Saturday at 12:15 p.m. Those are the odds. Will they change? Absolutely, they'll change. Take advantage while you can. So we're here. We're looking at this. We are going to look at the plays that we like. So what we have is we have elite plays, value plays, and other plays. So I'll go through the elite plays and the value. If you want to see the other ones, click the link down below. It should be the very first link in the description. That'll help me see that you got the stats. I can see the views. And if we continue it, I know you guys will enjoy it there. So also, if you guys want to and you're still sticking around, if this video gets 30 thumbs up, we'll put a Fanduel and DraftKings GPP lineup down below in the comment section. We'll pin it down there. So you've got until tomorrow morning to get the 30 likes. So looking at QBs, like I said, elite. Looking at his price over on Fanduel and DraftKings, $9,500 on Fanduel, $8,200 on DraftKings. Jackson's about the safest bet, like I said, you can get. Averages just shy of 30 fantasy points on DraftKings last year. He had a tremendous game in week 1 and only went up $100 on DraftKings, which is crazy to me. Take advantage of that. He's got a matchup against... I forgot to change it. He's got a matchup against Houston, which I will change this. That's my bad. But looking at that, Houston, they got dominated by... just saw that Verlander needs Tommy John surgery. Probably should hang it up being that age, but we'll see. But looking at this, I absolutely love matchup. Houston ranked 31 in DVP against QBs. The only problem is if they get up too much, they could bench Jackson. So hopefully if they do get up a lot, it's because he ran and threw the ball and not handed off to the running back. So Jackson would make fantastic cash option. GPPs, it's going to be kind of hard because you're paying up so much. His ownership will be pretty high. So, Jackson, I don't like him in GPP as much. So, that being said, next one, Dak, and I know He struggled in week 1. We saw that. We all saw it. Zeke should feast himself. I do like he gets to face a Falcons team. They gave up 322 yards to Russell Wilson and 4 touchdowns. And they gave up 84 yards on the ground. So I absolutely love a Dak Zeke stack here. And if you want to throw in maybe Gallup or CeeDee Lamb for GPPs, I don't mind. I do love Dak here. His price is a little bit better on DraftKings at 6,800, which I need to put DK on there. But I do like him on Fanduel as well. Then your value play here, Jimmy Garoppolo against the Jets. Like I said, the Jets are bad, both on offense and defense, so don't sweat it there. Jimmy G, just looking at Josh Allen last week, 312 passing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He completed 33 of his 46 passes, so I do realize that Buffalo has a little bit better wide receiver core there. But like I said, if Sanu is in and he's going to accrue some points, definitely looking to stack Jimmy G and Sanu. And I do believe Kittle is out this week. Last I read, he was doubtful, but he may have been pushed to out. I will definitely look at that. But I love, if you're going to stack Jimmy G, Sanu if you can, depending on what's going on there. And possibly Mostert as well, who had a massive game. So if we're looking at running backs, elite, like I said, Zeke against the Falcons. I love him here. Falcons allowed a combined 35.2 DraftKings fantasy points to running backs. And it's kind of crazy because they also had 49 yards and 2 touchdowns. Chris Carson dominated them last week. Looking for Zeke to absolutely dominate him here. He's going to get his targets as well as rushing. So if I'm paying up for one running back this week, I would go Zeke. While people are going to go McCaffrey, I love Zeke in this spot. Should absolutely feast. Another one is Ronald Jones. Now, he will be sharing the backfield with Fournette, but hopefully Jones is still going to be the number 1 running back there. According to our matchup tool, he is the best matchup. The Panthers gave up the most amount of fantasy points last year to the running back position. Last week, Jones went for 17 rushes for 66 yards, caught 2 of 3 targets for 16 yards. And the Panthers just got decimated by Josh Jacobs last week for 3 touchdowns. Ronald Jones, as long as he doesn't get vultured by Fournette, hopefully not, Jones is in a massive spot, especially on DraftKings, being only 5,200. That is something I'm looking at. Cash or GPP, I don't mind, but don't get sucked into the value picks last week where it was Boston Scott for your free square or Antonio Gibson, where, just didn't do anything. Super cheap. Didn't do anything. So that is one of the value picks that I'm looking at there. If you want to see the other ones for running backs, click the link down below. Your elite wide receiver here, absolutely love Devonta Adams. And I mentioned it, love pairing him up with Rodgers and possibly Aaron Jones. But if you just want to do Rodgers and Adams, I don't mind that at all. He's going to be high expensive, but he's definitely worth it. He was almost our number 1 wide receiver last week that we loved, and he came through. Again, I'm going to look at that. What's crazy, just looking at the game logs from last week, Aaron Rodgers threw the ball to Devonta Adams 38% of the time when he was passing last week. That is, it doesn't, it's a small amount. It's not 50%, but that's still a massive amount considering how many times Rodgers threw the ball and Adams came through for us. On top of that, Devontae was getting 11.1 yards per reception there. Fantastic. That's massive. That is exactly what you're looking for. I love this matchup. I would not doubt if Adams is the number 1 wide receiver on the slate. And I'm not saying value because you're always going to have that low value guy that has X amount of fantasy points. So his points per dollar will be more, but love Devonta Adams in this one. Another one, a value play here, Emmanuel Sanders. With Michael Thomas being out for X amount of weeks with a high ankle sprain, it could be a while, Sanders will be the number 1 wide receiver for the Saints. I'm looking at him to dominate the Raiders here. He's super cheap as of right now. This most likely will be the cheapest Sanders is all year. I would not be surprised. And the thing is, Breeze only threw for 160 yards in week 1, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. But he did. He only threw for 160 yards. So I think Breeze gets back on track and we see Breeze be who we thought he was. It's crazy that he only threw for that amount. But I absolutely love Emmanuel Sanders here for a cheaper option. There are other value plays, which you can find in the article, but Emmanuel Sanders here coming in as the number 1 wide receiver for them for now. I really, really like. Emmanuel Sanders is explosive after like yards per reception. Love him in this situation. So looking at that, if you have any questions about wide receivers, comment down below. Then the tight ends, I think, obviously the elite one that I love this week is Mark Andrews against the Texans. We saw Travis Kelce get 50 yards last week and a touchdown. They kind of just went up a little bit, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was, he stole the show, so we didn't see a lot of targets, but I do love Mark Andrews here. Came through with 2 scores last week. I think he has 2+. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrews could get 3 scores this week. I know that's a lot to ask. His price is up there, but he's worth it. Any given week, no matter, he's really matchup proof. So it doesn't really matter with Lamar Jackson's threat of always running it. Andrews is going to find himself open, and most of the time, Andrews is going to come through for you. A value pick here, Logan Thomas, super cheap, specifically on DraftKings, but according to our matchup tool, the Cardinals defense gave up the most amount of fantasy points last year to tight ends. Super cheap. He's coming off, Thomas was targeted 8 times last week. He only got 4 of the passes, so that kind of sucks, but he was targeted a ton. 37 yards and a touchdown against the Eagles defense that was supposed to be good. He's got a better matchup this week against the Cardinals. So Logan Thomas for GPP, cheaper option. He's going to allow you to pay up at other positions. You could even go a little bit crazier and put him in your flex. Most people will point towards going a running back or wide receiver because the volume obviously is there for the running backs. But if you want to get crazy, GPP-wise, I don't mind Logan Thomas as a flex over on DraftKings or Fanduel. And you'd be able to pay up almost exclusively for everyone else you would like as well. So there's that. And so that is it, guys. I know the video was a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but hopefully it helped you out. Hopefully it found you some success. But definitely follow us on all social media. You can go to drafters.com. You can use promo code FantasyTeamAdvisors. If you deposit over there, you do win money as well. They'll give you X amount of money by signing up. Last week, I was in their big tournament for the week. It was a $5.50 entry to get in. First place was $500. I was in first place pretty much all day until Drew Brees only threw for 160. If Drew Brees would have thrown from 300, I would have had all the money. So I'm kind of sad about that. I ended up getting 5th place in that tournament. We've always had success over there. We've taken down GPPs multiple times over there, so you can check that out. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter, @advisors_team. The website, obviously, fantasyteamadvisor.com. And make sure you subscribe to this YouTube page as well. Put the bell notification on so you guys know when we go live for you guys. So if you have any questions at all, comment down below. Don't forget, you can get the year pass, every sport we offer, for $99. That's $300 off. Go to FTA Plus or go to fantasyteamadvisor.com/plans. Click on the year pass and use the promo code YEARPASS99 and you'll get $300 off. 5 coupon codes left. That's all I've got for you guys. If you have any questions, comment below, email me, hit us up on Twitter, and I would love to hear your success. So good luck in week 2, guys. And as always, you know what to do. Bring home that bacon. Peace.